beaten by the French police because the ticket was faked. So I think the NFT revolution.
I have done that. I have done that.
Yeah.
You got beaten up by the police, Adil?
No. Back in our college times, concerts were happening like every single month in our college, and we do not want to spend that money, so we use photocopier for that. we put the same thing like 20 times, right?
Okay, hello everyone to another episode of TakaTalks. Today we have with us Adil Ashfaq. He is a very important ecosystem player in the Web3 space, particularly between Pakistan, Dubai, and sort of the Gulf in general. Adil is a content creator. He's worked and Web3 strategist, He's worked in the Web3 for over 5 years and worked with many interesting and important projects that span the gaming, NFT, and tokenization space. These include CryptoDesk, LumiShare, Axie Infinity. He specializes in creating authentic content to engage targeted audiences. So, Adil, I'm going to just have you just do a little quick background introduction of where did you come, what were you doing before Web3, and how did you come into Web3, and tell us a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, so I am basically a software engineer, and I graduated in 2019. And before Web3, I was working with my father in his construction material company back in Pakistan. So I started working in Web3 in 2019, and it's been like more than 5 years. And I have worked with different NFT collections. I have worked with crypto startups. I have worked with different NFTs for their marketing. And right now I'm working with a crypto exchange based in Dubai, and I'm also working with a blockchain studio. They are working on Ethereum mainnet and Solana mainnet. So I'm working as a content strategist and also as a copywriter right now.
Yeah. How did you get the bug into this technology and stuff like that? If you can share how you maybe first started to buy your own crypto, I'd love to hear that, and and how people at the time were perceiving you when you were talking about these things, because it's always a cool story to share.
Yeah, so that's actually not an exciting story, right? Because in my university back in 2012, back in 2013, me along with my friends, we were spending like thousands or maybe hundreds of dollars every month on food and gas, right? And there was a thing called Litecoin and Bitcoin back then. Litecoin was also very famous, and also Ripple's XRP. And we never paid attention to that, right? And so I first bought the first cryptocurrency, Ethereum, in 2017, not before that. And it was basically like a lot of my friends were getting into Bitcoin, and they were like, it is going to 10,000. And I was like, Bitcoin to 10,000? we were actually very excited for that, but nobody believed us. And me along with my friends, we invested in Ethereum. But that wasn't worked out well, because we always were on our Binance app. So we were always like checking the rates, and I traded Ethereum like 3 to 4 times every single day. because of the excess, right? Because we had like apps, and also at that time I was also using Kraken. Is like still a very amazing and secure exchange. So my crypto journey started in 2017, and I'm not very happy that it started in 2017, because there was huge opportunities back in 2014, 2013. So my first cryptocurrencies were Ethereum. After that, I started trading Bitcoin and XRP and everything.
So you started out with trading. Did you make some money at the time?
Yeah. Maybe around $150 or $200.
Very cool.
Yeah.
So then from trading, how did you actually get into it being your day job?
Yeah, that's a very interesting question. So belonging from Pakistan, like I was born and raised in Lahore, Pakistan. So we do not have that kind of background, traditional banks, but still, as compared to first world countries like in Europe and America, we have had a lot of problems. So my brother was working in UK, and I wanted to. My father actually wanted to send him like 400,000 euros, 400,000 pounds, because he wanted to start doing business there. So I was like, we were having a lot of problems for that, for sending that kind of money, because Pakistan never encourages that, right? They always want like people should invest in this country, like people shouldn't be transferring that kind of money. So having that kind of freedom through my Binance app, to be very honest, back then I didn't have like a whole idea about decentralization, about crypto wallets, about DeFi and everything. But just about having that kind of freedom through my Binance app, or maybe like my Kraken app, that I can transfer 400K, 1 million, 10 million, 500 million in seconds to anywhere in the globe. So I was like talking to my father, and he was like, I'm trying to send money to your brother, and I'm not able to do that because banks are creating problems, and State Bank of Pakistan is not allowing that. So I was like, Father, there is another way. But sadly, crypto is still that not regularized in Pakistan. Back in 2017, it was not regularized. So we still like kind of managed our way through cryptos and through some friends. So from there, I got very excited. I was like, bro, this is the future. Because if I am using this app, if I am using cryptos to transfer money to my brother in UK without any due diligence, it's crazy. maybe some of us might not like this, but it was crazy for me. So my excitement, my journey starts from there actually.
That is an amazing story. How I have a question, which is, how old is your father, and how did you manage to convince him to do this?
So my father is 65 years old all right now. So at that time he was like 58 or 59. But that's something special about businessmen, right? Right, Murad? Businessmen are always have that kind of risk appetite in them, right? They are always that looking towards that kind of like doing investment. They are always open to that kind of risk. So he was very reluctant. So that is why we did not transfer the whole for 400,000 euros through cryptos. We use some friends, and that's basically called hundi in Pakistan. So a lot of people use that to like transfer money to China and from China to Pakistan. So it took me around several days, seriously. And to be very honest, I was also not very confident, because we were talking about 2017, and we had a lot of crypto scandals back then, right? So I like asked my brother to create different accounts on different exchanges. So I started with transferring $10, $50, $100. So to be very honest, this was the process. So at first we created that kind of trust, like through Medium, through crypto exchanges, and after that, I think it took around 20 to 25 different transactions, because I was still a student, and I was like, bro, it's a huge amount of money, and yeah, it took seriously some kind of time, and also my brother played a huge part in like convincing my father into this.
Bravo, that's actually really brave. I don't think in 2017 I would have done this.
Back then you had this kind of use case, okay, and that was like, wow, light bulb moment, and you made the best use of what crypto could have done to you back then. Fast forward now, when you look at the community of people using maybe crypto now for maybe receiving remittance in Pakistan, or issuing even money for the loved one inside. I know that the Pakistani diaspora is massive outside of Pakistan. You might have like more Pakistani living outside of Pakistan than Pakistan itself somehow. So I want to know from you, from you side of the story, how is the adoption there? What's happening? Share a little bit about that with
Yeah,
us.
so that's a very good question. And I'm going to answer it in a very organic way, right? In a real way. So you are talking about freelancers, and you are talking about diaspora who send money regularly back into Pakistan to their families, right? So talking about Wise, talking about Upwork, talking about freelancer.com, and even Fiverr. So if like Pakistani rupee is trading against USD for like 290 Pakistani rupees against 1 USD, you can easily get 305 against 1 USDT, right? So it's about it's like an increase of like 3% or maybe 5% into the rates. So to be very honest, banks in Pakistan, they are sometimes their charges doesn't make any sense. If you receive $1,000, you are not going to receive 290,000 because they are going to cut some taxes. So it's going to be like they are going to tax 1% taxes, 2% taxes out of that. So receiving money in cryptos is like a dream right now. I always prefer receiving money in cryptos because I'm going to get that 2% above that, right? So even in Dubai, even in Dubai, a lot of freelancers are receiving their pays in cryptos. So Dubai's dirham is like 3.67 against 1 USD, but again against 1 USDT, it's like 3.69, right? So you are getting better rates. So this is why it's so in Dubai everything is cool. We have proper regulations for that. We got like different banks spotting it, different OTC exchanges, over the counter exchanges, right? Even Binance, you can always use your bank account connected with Binance. But back in Pakistan, we do not have that kind of regulations, right? So people use third parties and also peer-to-peer payments. So P2P payments, that is a very famous way to like cash out your cryptos. So people like who have the idea that you are going to get 2% more on your payments through cryptos, through USDT, through BUSD, they prefer like getting paid through cryptos. And right now, around 10 to 11 billion dollars of Pakistani people is invested into cryptos, around 10 to 11 billion dollars, and that's not a small amount for Pakistan, because Pakistan is like standing around 350 billion dollars in GDP. So that's around 3% of that GDP is invested into cryptos.
It's very interesting because, we speak to some guests and they come from places like Europe and they come from the West. And the thing that they say to us often is that, there's no real use case for cryptocurrency. It's useless. It's only for speculation. What do you have to say to that?
Yeah, so to be very honest, Americans do not have any idea what's going on in the other part of the world, right? So
Yeah, that's right.
So some Europeans also do not have that kind of idea. So they love to stay in their space. They love to stay in their box. So they do not have any idea what kind of adoption is going on in Africa. They do not have any idea what kind of crypto users we have in India, right? What kind of crypto adventures and crypto startups we have in Hong Kong and Singapore, even in Jakarta, even in Bangkok. So I'm not going to talk a lot about Americans and Europeans, because the people, even from America, even from Europe, if they like go out, if they like study more about the world, they are going to invest into Dubai. They are going to stay in Dubai. They're never going back to America. I personally know dozens of people who just visited Dubai once and they were like, bro, this is tax free. Let's get an Emirates ID. So yeah, let's not talk about Americans, because they have other means of. Okay, they are not bankless. Still, a huge population in Africa, they are bankless. They need cryptos.
So I think you tax free. I think except for American, because American pay tax wherever they are. So Dubai is not tax free for them. They still have to report. Unfortunately for them, but
They are the chosen people.
Yeah. So what is
Chosen
interesting?
to pay taxes forever everywhere in the world.
Yeah, the land of the free to pay tax. Again, uh, use cases, as you mentioned. I think here to give clarity on the use cases. I think you're right. That they're a little bit clueless about what's happening outside of the bubble. But the reality and the beauty of crypto, it appeals for the first time in the human history for both the have and have not. Why? Because the people who have the West, they want to have access to this technology and crypto. Why? For mostly for freedom reason, ability to finally own their own bank, have a decentralized way of doing it. They're sick and tired of this system were highly centralized, corrupted, failing, and so the reason they fall into that, it's because of wanting to get back the ownership of the financial freedom. And that's
Exactly.
what you see, the movement actually rising from that part of the world. So they have a different need. And when you look at other nation like African nation or Asia, Southeast Asia and Indonesia, so they will go into that technology because of a real need of fulfilling, for example, the end bank industry. For example, we know that in Africa, 80% of the people are end bank. Okay, so they finally move from nothing to a banking system or wallet that enable them to have some kind of banking system. It's like, for me, the way I look is like the leapfrog from no laptop or no PC all the way to the mobile industry. And there was a revolution in Africa, and that's why they're like more mobile use and understanding of the new technology in Africa, or less fortunate nations, because of the ability to leapfrog. They move from nothing to mobile, and now they're moving to no financial to all financial freedom, and they might be the one leading the future of the crypto industry because of their massive adoption. But again, in the West, you will see a very small percentage of the people who finally wake up, okay, and try to be free from the financial, ability. And you go to France, you want to withdraw 1,000 US dollars or 1,000 euro in a bank. The bank will ask you, what do you need the money for? It's like kind of funny. It's like, whoa, it's my money. Why are you asking me why I do it? And it's a very little amount. And you say, okay, can you come back tomorrow? The money is not ready. Can you imagine a small amount like that? And you have to beg for your own money to be served, and you have to apologize to ask your own money. And it's happening on the daily basis in France system. So yeah, so this is my input on that. Please correct me if I'm wrong, or add up, Sharon, Adil, more than hear from your side.
I believe your opinion is spot on. Seriously, because Americans and Europeans, they are also investing into Africa. Talking about Web3 projects, they are trying to do tokenization of real estate. They are trying to do tokenization of real world assets. They are trying to like get a community from Africa on their crypto startups, because they also understand that this is the target audience for crypto right now. And to be very honest, talking about global scenario, talking about global economy, things are shifting. And I really love that you pointed out that if somebody's going to bank in Europe and asking then and that I want to transfer my $1,000, my own $1,000, so they are going to ask questions. So this is not acceptable. Okay, things are cool. People are surviving into this, but whenever they go out to different countries, they can see that kind of freedom. So this is going to be changed. This is that is why we received a lot of criticism on cryptos. We received a lot of criticism on blockchain industry. Yeah. So, but things are going to change. So, talking about America, you guys pointed out that they still have to pay taxes. Can you believe? I personally know like at least 10 people who gave up their American passports.
Yeah,
Seriously.
because
Seriously. So
Yeah, exactly.
what
Yeah,
they are
yeah.
doing? They are obviously Middle East does not offer passports, so they are buying passports. Turkey or maybe some island in maybe Bahamas. So what they are doing, they are basically moving to Dubai or staying in some other country, maybe in Thailand. They have a passport like worth $150,000, $250,000, 200. Turkey is actually offering passport for like $400,000 right now. And in Bahamas, you can get that for 150. So what kind of taxes you have to pay? 5%. And in US, you have to pay 35%, 38%. So they are staying in Dubai. The apartment they can rent out in New York for $7,000. They are renting that out in Dubai for like $3,000 to $3,500. The kind of mindset change I am seeing in Dubai, because I have been attending a lot of conferences, a lot of meetups. I seriously think Middle East is going to be the next hotspot, not just for Web3, for all businesses, because that the minds who are like moving here, they have that kind of money. They want to invest in different businesses. They are investing into tourism. They are investing into blockchain apps. They are investing even in infrastructure, even in construction companies, even in real estate.
Actually, I wanted to. This is a good transition. I want to understand from your standpoint now, what's happening in the Middle East in general, Dubai, Bahrain, or there's a lot of regulatory framework that is being established within UAE and Bahrain. Saudi Arabia might even come up with their own regulatory framework. So things are happening in Dubai. Can you share a little bit? And also, I want to hear about the ugly, the good, and whatever in between. And I know there's a lot of scam going on. That still we have a lot of bad apple to clean up from the bucket in order for the masses to start looking at real use case for crypto and stuff like that, or project. Can you please share first what's happening in Dubai, Saudi Arabia, or Bahrain, and the rest, how we can remove the bad apple from the great projects, inshallah, and support them?
Yeah. So talking about Dubai, I'm going to point out two organizations. One is the Virtual Asset Law. They are called VAL, VAL. They have been helping businesses. They're helping individuals with their virtual assets, with their NFTs. Like they are giving proper clarity. So what's the problem right now? The problem is clarity in regulations, right? That's the problem with SEC, right? They are not providing clarity. So Dubai is providing clarity since 2018 with VAL, virtual. Okay, so after that they launched Vara. Uh, it is spelled as VARA, right? So the purpose of Vara is basically spotting businesses, blockchain businesses. They are providing them proper framework. They are providing them with proper regulations, that what kind of problems you got, like companies might have with blockchain startups. So everything basically, it's like a 10-page document where everything is clear, and the authority is Vara. So right now in Dubai, we have 800 blockchain companies actively working. 800. The number was 772 back in February, but right now it's around 800. So in this number, in 800, we have companies working on tokenization of real estate. They are working with DMAC. They are working with EMAR, right? They are also working with Shoba Realty. Shoba Realty is third biggest group in Dubai, talking about real estate development, real estate infrastructure. So with the help of these, like clarity in organization, with the help of these organizations, right now, 30% of UAE residents, I'm not talking about citizens, because citizens are with UAE passports and residents are with UAE, like Emirates ID. 30% of people who have Emirates ID, they at least invested in Bitcoin once in their life. 30%. And that's a huge number. And talking about residents,
Yeah, it's massive.
yeah, it's massive. And talking about residents, they are crazy for Bitcoin. Seriously, seriously, people looking around, they are looking like they look like they are not into technology very much, but in events they're like, bro, I have only 10 Bitcoins in my wallet. So seriously,
No, I agree with you. We're not too much in technology, We are still in a desert, riding camels and everything,
but
you know.
at least these guys are crazy. These guys are have that kind of passion for technology. So right now, the crypto startups, the blockchain startups are increasing 45% year on year in UAE. 45%. So if we have like 800 startups in 2013, we are going to have 1150 startups in 2024, right? So these numbers are crazy. So there are a lot of other factors to buy royal family, because I want to talk about them. Abu Dhabi royal family. So I've worked with Lumishare. So Lumishare is a crypto startup. They are based in Abu Dhabi, and they are backed by Abu Dhabi royal family. I attended their events, and the personal secretary of royal family always attend these kind of events. Murad, you are smiling. I know you understand all this, right?
Yeah, I think already you look a little bit like Muhammad, the ruler, bin Rashid.
Muhammad bin
You
Rashid
look
bin Al Nahyan, right?
Al Maktoum. No, Al Maktoum, Al Maktoum. If you put the Shmar, you have some kind of very similarity feature, I would say already.
Okay,
Mashallah.
cool.
Yeah,
I'm going to take
but
this as a compliment.
yeah, mashallah, of course. What is interesting is that you mentioned something interesting. You said the royal, the royal. Again, what I want to know from your side, there's a lot of non-serious projects that have been spoiling our Web3 industry, and it's good to hear from a project that are making sense and that I having value and bringing value to the ecosystem. So you share a mini share. What are other projects that are you kind of like, and what are
May I
yeah,
please jump in here?
yeah, go ahead.
Yeah.
So you touched on some very interesting industry movements. So crypto was most exciting in the early days due to gaming. There was always this idea that gaming, the growth of the gaming sector was going to be a reason for the growth of the crypto sector. They were somehow linked. But after Axie Infinity, there was so much hype, and they were playing to earn crypto, etc. It's actually fallen flat now. And it turns out that crypto didn't grow with the gaming sector. So what happened there?
Actually, not. I won't agree with you. So back in 2021, back in 2020, we had few projects like Exinfinity, like Sandbox. So these projects were basically on Ethereum. So the problem was gas fee. The huge problem on Ethereum network was gas fee. So why people like us, people like you, Shireen, people like Murad, we are thinking that gaming is not working because we love studying Ethereum, we love studying Bitcoin, and we are not looking too much into other blockchains, right? So right now we have a lot more users as compared to 2020, 2021. I'm talking about gaming. And the on-chain volume, because there's always off-chain volume and on-chain volume. Off-chain volume is like exchanges like Binance, because they deal off-chain, and on-chain volume is always like decentralized exchanges and gaming. So the second on like generator for on-chain volume is always games. Still, they are games. Right now, the hot thing, the hot blockchain for gaming is Solana. Right? Solana is recovering from the ashes right now, and dozens of games are working on Solana. And other than that, we have layer 2 solutions on Ethereum, talking not just on Ethereum, talking about immutable X. We have Guild of Guardians, a very crazy game, Guild of Guardians. We have like Pirates. There are huge number of games. I'm basically creating carousels on top 5 games, top 10 games every month. So it's like 700,000, 800,000 users on Axie Infinity back in 2021, because that was the sole focus. Right now, we have 2 million users, 2.5 million users on different platforms, or on different blockchains, on different layer 2 solutions. So the second highest on-chain volume is still generated through gaming. We just have to look outside of Ethereum, outside of Bitcoin. That's where we are going to find that kind of games, because games are always standing on communities. And right now, hot communities are seriously Solana, because they are rising from the ashes, and still 2,000 developers are working on Solana ecosystem, and that's very crazy.
No, I get it. I think you're right. So tell me, what kind of models in gaming work in the crypto space? So we know Axie Infinity was a kind of play to earn model. What are the other use cases for crypto in gaming that you see rising?
Yeah, so right now we also have in-app purchases. We had that with traditional gaming, but a lot of Web3 companies are also adding in-app purchases into the game. You have crypto, like, okay, so Yuga Labs is very famous, right? Yuga, CryptoPunks are owned by them, Bored Ape Yacht Club are owned by them. They are, right now they are working on other deeds Meta. So in their platform, we can trade through ApeCoin, right? ApeCoin is very famous right now. In Sandbox, we can trade through Sand, $Sand. So in different platforms, we right now the hot stuff, maybe not the hot stuff, but industry is working towards in-app purchases. Like, you have your crypto, you can actually purchase from inside the game. Not like you have to go through OpenSea or Blur to like buy that kind of NFT to use that into the game. You can you can buy that asset or that armor, that ammunition right into the game. So play to earn model is still working. There's some kind of hate around play to earn model, but it is still working perfectly. But there are other models like in-app purchases, and also traditional gaming studios are investing millions. Talking about Roblox, talking about Ubisoft, talking about Rockstars. Even Ubisoft launched their Web3 game last month. A lot of people do not know that. Ubisoft launched their first Web3 game last month. So Ubisoft is multi-billion-dollar studio, right? And Activision Blizzard, they are also investing in Web3 game. The thing is, back in 2020, 2021, we were focused just on few chains, right? We all know what's happening in Ethereum, what kind of like games are using Ethereum as their base layer 1. But right now we have a lot of different chains, talking about Near Protocol, talking about Tron chain, talking about Aptos. We have a dozen games on Aptos. Nobody knows that. Aptos is a new coin. It was launched last year. There are around 20 to 25 NFT collections on Aptos. Dozens of games are building on those platforms. So the thing is, the market is getting bigger. And we are humans, we are not AI. We cannot like understand everything. We do not have that kind of knowledge. We do not have that kind of time, right? Even I am working in the industry, and I do not know about more than 20 to 30 Web3 names, Web3 game names. My specialization is into like blockchain and like what's going on in blockchain technology. But yeah, marketing is getting huge. Volumes are getting bigger. Trust is okay. So with FTX, with Luna, with Celsius, trust was broken. But right now we are building that kind of trust again. We are getting there for sure.
Very cool. And this is a perfect segue because you mentioned Yuga Labs. So the other great promise for mass crypto and Web3 adoption was in the space of NFTs. Now
Yeah.
that also had a very, hype, super hype, super climb, and then it has flattened now. Where do you see this going in the near future to the extended future?
Yeah, it was flattened. Volume was flattened for like few months, but right now we are seeing an increase in volume. I can also share a stat with you. A lot of people are sharing that in Twitter, on Reddit, and also on LinkedIn. So OpenSea was the major platform for exchanges for NFTs, right? But right now, Blur is like taking the lead, and we are seeing 20% increase, 30% increase for what we have in January or February. Obviously, for sure, we are not seeing that kind of activity in NFTs because a lot of people are stuck. So people like me, I bought Doodles around 15 Ethereum, right? I bought Azuki around 12 Ethereum. Azuki is still on that level, right? So we all are stuck on higher rates. So that is why we are not seeing that kind of activity. If I am getting one Ethereum profit on my NFT, I'm going to sell that. I'm going to buy another one. That is going to create activity, right? So a lot of people are stuck, but yeah. So it's all about new money. New money is coming into NFTs. New money is coming into cryptos. And that new money is going to help us to get back to previous levels, the levels we had earlier in 2022 or like in last quarter of 2021, because the ecosystems, the most important ecosystems who were here for that kind of utility, they are still here. I'm talking about Bored Ape Yacht Club, I'm talking about CryptoPunks, I'm talking about Doodles, Azuki, they are still here. A lot of NFT collections are not seen in the market because the founders were just here for money. They were just here for earning like that $2 million, $3 million. They were looking for a Lamborghini. They were looking for a cool apartment in Miami. Right now, they are nowhere because they didn't have a long-term value. They didn't provide a long-term roadmap. So they were just here for a few millions. I'm not talking about those projects. Even I have those kind of NFTs. But yeah.
Yeah. If I may ask him, sure, sorry,
Yeah, please.
for our audience as well, NFT, the technology. Now, I want to see what are one of the best use case for NFTs. We are talking about tokenization of real estate asset, tokenization even on you could tokenize the oil, the gas. You can tokenize a lot of things. Can you share with us some of the use case for the NFTs as well, and how can they be bringing value and to the simple users who are going to say, okay, this is not just about buying monkey pictures and waiting for these monkey pictures to be worth billions of dollars or millions of dollars. What are the utility behind it? Please share with us that.
Okay, so monkey pictures are cool to attend events, right? So when we talk about Bored Ape Yacht Club, it's basically a yacht club, right? If you have that kind of NFT, you are going to have access to those yacht club events, right? But I am a blockchain maxi, and I always talk about use cases. So the number one use case that I am looking forward to is ticketing, right? Ticketing for cricket games, ticketing for football games. That is going to generate that kind of huge volumes, that kind of huge activity. And I personally believe that is going to be the best ever use case for NFTs. And that is
Can you
ticketing.
elaborate on that? I've heard people talk about ticketing a lot, but I do not see why is there this need for ticketing to take place via the blockchain.
Yeah, the thing is, we are always talking about mass adoption, right? So mass adoption isn't going to come through Bored Ape Yacht Club or maybe CryptoPunks because that costs around $100,000. That's not mass adoption. We need $5 tickets. We need $10 tickets. We need like $50 tickets to get to that
Yes,
point.
I get that. But why would the ticketing industry adopt the blockchain? It makes their life more complicated because it's something
No.
that is new
Okay.
for them. And what
Okay.
is the value proposition for those ticketing companies?
Okay. So we always like complex the matters, right? So NFT project do not need marketing, do not need art, even art, right? If you are attending a cricket match, a football match, your NFT can just be seat number 3 to 1. That's it. Your NFT is just seat number 3 to 1. So events and different companies are not going to like complex their internal matters by using NFTs, right? In a way that they are going to use new blockchains like Solana. They are going to use Near
No,
protocol.
I mean any kind of change is going to complicate matters. Yeah.
I'm getting to that. I'm getting to that because people like us, even I thought that this is going to be complicated for industry. This is going to be complicated for companies, but it is not, because we are getting there. We are receiving that kind of projects that are going to implement NFTs in like 10 minutes, right? Less than like the cost for that NFT collection is going to be just $100. Smart contracts are getting to that level. So if you are using paper, right? If you are using paper, you are using online platforms to provide and like facilitate people with tickets. You are spending at least $2,000, $3,000, $5,000 for it. Okay, so if FIFA Women World Cup is happening right now in Australia, right? So they have online platform for that, and they are sending NFTs through email. So just understand the process. They have an email social media manager. They have a social media manager. They have a website platform to buy NFTs. To buy tickets. So it's going to cost $50,000 to $100,000 to spread that kind of tickets to the owners. But through NFTs, that kind of event, like even FIFA can utilize it for $10,000 or $12,000. So we are basically cutting the cost here. So getting back to your point,
Yeah, but you can do the same thing with just a Web2 digital. You don't need this to be on the blockchain. Send an email with a QR code. Same thing. What is the need for this to be done as an NFT on the blockchain?
I think if I can elaborate on that, Sharon, and support a little
yeah,
bit
please do.
Adil, the biggest missing point here that you might be forgetting here is the non-duplication of the NFT. It's it's the copy. What's happening a lot with the ticketing industry is people actually cheating. The last time it happens in Paris Saint-Germain in France, where the British supporter came to France and they had a ticket that was okay, it was valid ticket. Many of them had bought secondary ticket, they were faked, and they got beaten by the French police just to kick them out. It was the biggest horrible thing that happened to football fan to come to France to get beaten by the French police because the ticket was faked. So I think the NFT
I have
revolution
done
here
that. I have done that.
yeah, yeah.
You got beaten up by the police, I did.
But
No. Back in our college times, concerts were happening like every single month in our college, and we do not want to spend that money, so we use photocopier for that. We can do the same thing like 20 times,
yeah.
right?
Yeah, so basically that's one of the major use case here to have the best validation for this kind of NFT. The other thing that I believe that NFT are attractive to football fan is maybe having a certain NFT issued by a football club fan, having utility. I can buy my T-shirt or my jersey for a discount. I can participate for a free lunch or a lunch. I can have benefit through this NFT because this NFT becomes like a gift card slash recognition or a pass to belong to a community as well. The Manchester Club, the Paris Saint-Germain Club. So it's not only security issue, duplication issue, it is building this engaging community through an NFT that I can identify ourselves. And actually, why I'm talking about that subject is because even us at TakaDAO, TakaChurn, we're trying to look at a utility NFT project that can bring value to the audience. Yeah.
Yeah, so there's a piece I think that you guys forgot to mention, which is that because duplication also can be done on a Web 2 basis, right? You just need a QR code. Don't let them use it more
Yeah.
than once. But the important piece here is that the NFT is actually attached to a wallet. So there is that the one who has this NFT is the actual correct owner of the ticket. So it cannot be stolen and it cannot be duplicated. And as Murad said, there is also this piece of now you're building a community. Okay, you can KYC these people and they become known to you. And now you have
Yeah.
suddenly a community linked through this NFT and this ticketing experience that you can now continue to sort of engage. So I think that is the power of the NFT. And this can only be done with blockchain technologies because you need to make sure that this information is immutable. So you cannot just give the ticket to anybody to use, and that part
That's
is
right.
important.
That's right. Love your
Yeah,
insights,
that's
Murad.
very cool. Yeah, so I wanted actually then to move on to this other big topic and big space. And I think the one space which today is really going to shake things up from a mass adoption use case. And that is tokenization of real world assets. Now, you mentioned that you're working a lot with companies in Dubai, Lumisha, etc., Abu Dhabi, on the tokenization of real estate. Where do you see the trends over there?
Yeah. So in Dubai, the real use case right now, I'm seeing that in apartments, right? So a few friends like me, they want to buy an apartment. So before this tokenization, like we cannot, like 50 people cannot buy the same apartment in partitions, right? So this is going to shake up in and like smart contracts for that are designed in such a way that you can always share that kind of rent with 50 owners. So this is something crazy. And I seriously think, talking about real estate assets, Africa is going to play a huge part, not just in Dubai, because we have that gap there. Systems are not properly designed there. We have systems in Dubai, right? But we do not have that kind of systems in Africa. So talking about especially Dubai, right now Bitcoin Tower is under construction, and all of those apartments are going to be sell through blockchain technology. Totally, all of the apartments, and it's like 83 floors, or I'm not sure, 63 floors. So companies like Lomisher, also there are a lot other companies who had their like headquarters based in uh, Germany and also Switzerland. They are setting up their offices in Dubai because real estate market, talking about real world assets, even talking about energy, even talking about metals. For metals, the huge industry is in Singapore. For oil, for energy, it's in Singapore. But I'm talking like staying in Dubai. I am seeing a huge inflow into the apartments market, into the real estate, into land, into buildings, into jewelry, also in jewelry, also in metals, because a lot of people are crazy about metals. So the blockchains that are being used are Polygon. Also, people from Near Protocol are working in Dubai. So I seriously think in 5 years things are getting to be more clear on this. Maybe in 4 years, but right now we are looking forward to that kind of bull market, and after that bull market, we are going to see a huge inflow and a clarity in landscape for real world asset, and also in tokenization of real estate.
Something that, since you raised this question regarding tokenization of asset and of course other different real estate and stuff like, I just want to understand in terms of the regulator, because I just woke up this morning and I just saw really alarming information where I see a friend of mine from Bitoisis not being able to renew her license as an exchange in Dubai with Vara. So they give them the license, and eventually they remove this. They got an MVP, and suddenly they remove the license for not compliance or whatever. And eventually the company now is going through a lot of pain and might be closing or being bought by a competitor from India. How do we as a startup that has been like in operation for so many years, seeing the light with getting an MVP with Vara and getting a lot of hopes, and suddenly boom, the MVP is removed. How this kind of piece of news make me comfortable moving to a place like Dubai, to be honest.
Yeah, that's actually not comfortable at all, because hops are always like for like 2 years now. Hops are always with Dubai regulatory system, right? So if they are doing this, I'm not sure that what kind of message they are this is going to perceive all over the world. Because talking about tokenization of real estates, I seriously think the top market right now is Dubai. Like Hong Kong is on the second number right now. So if Vora is doing this with companies, this is not comforting at all. But yeah, as I mentioned, in 4 to 5 years, we are going to have more clarity, because we had from the day one, we did not have had clarity for NFTs and cryptos, right? But luckily, we have that right now. So tokenization is something new, like relatively new. So maybe in 4 to 5 years, we
Yeah.
are going to receive more clarity from Vora, or maybe from different
Mm.
institutes around the world, in Dubai and in
Yeah, yeah,
Singapore.
yeah. Yeah, I hope so, because I don't know if just saw some of the news today, but and then I see a lot of movement from exchanges from like Coinbase trying to relocate in UAE. So there's a mix feeling here. You close one exchange that has been there for 8 years, or by not renewing the license, and then you
With
wake up.
courses,
B2 yeah, yeah, yeah. Was the news was today? I mean,
I didn't read
the
that, to be very
yeah.
honest.
You didn't see that? Yeah, she announced like 3 months ago she got the Vara license, MVP license to operate. Eventually, after getting her the license, suddenly a week ago they removed her license, which was a very bad signal for the investors and everybody around her. And eventually she could not close a fundraising because of that issue, and getting like fire selling a startup to an exchange based out of India. That's what the latest news is all about.
Maybe there might be some like tricky situation inside the company, or like Vara might have received some kind of complaints against that. Because I have seen like companies. Okay, Binance is a big brand, talking about BitBuy, and a lot of exchanges are basically very happy in Dubai. Not just like centralized exchanges, also like over the counter exchanges who are dealing in cash. But yeah, I
Yeah,
didn't look into the story
look.
properly.
Yeah, you should. Yeah, you should look, because for me, my concern. This is we're not talking about like a startup that was like launched 12 months ago. We're talking about
Yeah,
somebody who has been in a business, raised regular funding from a traditional VC based out of Dubai and all over the world. And I've been in business for the past 8 years. I know her
yeah,
personally
it's a
as
famous
well.
brand.
Again, we're not talking about a startup that just launched yesterday. And I think the regulator, if they had to deal with her in a certain way, could have been maybe in a better way, that doesn't you don't issue me a license and 2 months later remove the license and making sound like it's bad, or bad practice. It's all new industry, everything is new. I think they should be on both sides, more like way of handling this kind of issue and not just removing and making a big deal. I mean, I'll be freaking out myself to start launching anything in Dubai, to be honest. I would stay. I don't know, but it's something that was really very poorly handled, and I don't know how these things will end up. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I will send you the information link on that.
Talking about Bitraces, it's like multi-million dollar brand, right?
It's a startup that raised $30 million into multiple rounds, and again, they got the VARA license to exist as an exchange, and unfortunately, you can see now that she's facing some problem because
That's bad.
the VARA license.
That's
Yeah,
actually very
yeah,
discomforting because we are talking about Dubai.
yeah, yeah. Anyway,
Anyway, so this is a little off topic. I want to just actually make one more comment about the tokenization, the potential for tokenization, and then hopefully give Adil a chance to talk more about his work and his business. So one of our partners, Marhaba DeFi, actually they have a very cool, interesting tokenization project that's ongoing, and it has to do actually with mining. So they're working with a company that is mining minerals, and apparently they intend to tokenize these minerals that are still in the ground, right? Because they're still
Wow.
there, they haven't dug it out yet, and they want
Wow.
to, but they're tokenizing this, but they have geological surveys and everything, so they have a good idea of what's underground, and they intend to tokenize it and sell those tokens as a way to essentially fundraise for the actual mining of the minerals itself. And I thought that was an incredibly cool use case of how can you bringing to the forefront this technology, tokenization, the blockchain, etc., in solving sort of real world problems and crowdfunding essentially the money that is required to actually get this done. So I just wanted to bring that up. So ideally, we're going to wrap this up now, and I wanted you to tell our listeners a little bit about what you do, what's your day job, and how they can reach out to you if they want to engage your services.
Yeah. So first, like commenting on your Marhaba DeFi part, right? This is very interesting because I was born in Pakistan, and we always heard that we have $500 billion of gold in like Balochistan province, but we do not have money for that to dig that, right? So this is very interesting. And right now,
Exactly.
and talking about Africa, emerald mines, diamond mines are always controlled by Americans, right? Why? Why? Because they do not have money to like search for those minerals. So this is very interesting. And talking about Venezuela, what's the problem of Venezuela? Venezuela has the most oil in the world, not Saudi Arabia, right? Murad said Venezuela has the most oil, but the problem is they do not have money. They do not have that billions of dollars to like fund the whole system and like to buy that kind of machinery. So yeah, this is very cool. I'm surely going to read more about this project. So yeah, talking about me, right now I'm working with like three different companies, like providing them content services. My core thing is copywriting, but I'm also very good at content strategy because copywriting always requires proper content strategy. So I basically help companies in building that brand, building that kind of authority into the space. And it's been like 5 years that I have not worked with any traditional or Web2 company. I am only working with Web3 startups, talking about blockchain, NFTs, cryptos, and everything. So right now, if anybody wants to reach me, LinkedIn is the platform. To be very honest, I am very active, very present on LinkedIn, and I am posting a lot on LinkedIn. I'm basically helping others to like cut that Web3 jargon. I'm explaining a lot of simple stuff actually, talking about like different NFT collections, talking about history, what happened last year, what happened with Luna, what happened with FTX, what happened with Solana. So I'm basically helping my connections and my like wherever my content gets the reach, I'm actually helping them to like get into Web3 because this is the future. And I'm actually helping them through my content to get into the space. So from wallets, from different chains, from off-chain, on-chain, from NFTs, tokenization, I'm talking about everything in Web3. And I'm posting a lot of content. And I'm actually spending maybe 90 minutes to 120 minutes every day on LinkedIn. And I'm trying to create that kind of community or tribe around my personal brand. And I am also helping CEOs in creating their personal brand through my content. So it's all about selling, it's all about copywriting, it's all about content strategy and content creation. So this is I have been doing, and I love this because whenever I want to post on my profile, whenever I want to post on other social media that I am controlling, I need to research. And I love researching. That is why I think if I am like 10% knowledgeable, it's just because of researching. I am researching every day, writing every day, articles, blogs, social media posts. So yeah, I love doing this. And even after 10 years, I would love to see myself as a content strategist.
Excellent. So thank you so much, Adil. It was a pleasure having you on TakaTalks.
Thank you so much, Adil, and you have a good one. It was a pleasure having you, and looking forward to collaborative discussion and keep on pushing the industry. Thank you so much. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.